Hello, everybody. Welcome once again to Health Coach Tip Tuesday. And I'm really excited for today's topic. We're going to talk about the importance of belonging to a professional coaching community. And Jennifer Woodward, the director of the Association of Functional Diagnostic Nutrition Practitioners, is going to be joining me today. So I'm really excited to dig into this topic. Welcome, everybody. I have a really cool special gift for you today. If you are ready to get started, drop the word coach below the video, and I'm going to send you the link for the Health Coach Certification Summit. This is an amazing summit put together by Reed Davis, founder of FDN, and it's a really great place to find valuable information about health coaching and really kind of find your people, which is what we're going to talk about today. So drop the word coach below the video. Welcome to the Health Coach Tip Tuesday show, where every week we share tips, tools, and resources for health coaches and professionals so that you can confidently solve your clients' health issues and grow your career as a health coach or professional. I am your host, FDN Director of Course Enrollment, Piper Gibson, and joining me today is Jennifer Woodward, AFDNP Director. Hi, Jennifer. How are you?
I'm great, Piper. How are you?
I'm good. I'm really excited for you to come on today and talk about community, since you are the boss lady of the FDN community.
And that's my favorite part about it. Like, I don't mind doing the behind the scenes work and the busy work and all that fun stuff. But honestly, being in a group and being part of the community, especially on our Facebook group, has been so much fun.
Yeah, absolutely. So Jennifer and I would love to know where you are joining us from today. I am joining you from New Mexico. Jennifer, where are you?
I am in Bakersfield, California, and today it's going to be 106 degrees.
Ooh, you beat me. It's going to be 104 here today.
Oh my gosh. All right.
You win. You totally win. Let us know where you're joining us from. We would love to know. We usually have people from all over the world, so drop that below. Let us know where you're joining us from.
Yeah, I'd love to see you.
All right. So we are going to talk about the importance of belonging to that professional coaching community. So, Jennifer, why do you feel it's important to belong to a community of like-minded professionals?
Yes, I think that the buzzword, there is like-minded, because what we do as health coaches it can be really polarizing, and it can be really, like you're working in solidarity. So getting to be online, getting to meet with people who do what I do. You and I were talking about this. It's so much fun because we're kind of nerds. And so nerding out with other people who know what we're talking about and who do what we do can be really energizing. Because as we were saying, I can talk to my husband till I'm blue in the face about the diurnal cortisol pattern, but he really could give a rip, just as I could give a rip about like commodity trading, right? And so knowing that I found a place where my people has just been so great for me personally, and then for my career as well. I could go on for days.
Yeah, I agree. And, I think polarizing is a great word, because we do get nerdy. And, like we were saying, is my husband, same thing. He could talk to me about golf and I'm like, I don't know, whatever. But same thing, I turn around and I'm talking to you about gut health. And he's like, what on earth are you guys talking about? They don't get it. So, I really think it's important for that. You don't feel alone.
Right. And that is really important, especially as we were talking about, our businesses as health coaches are mostly online. So you could sit in front of your computer and maybe talking to clients for 10 hours a day, or you could not talk to anyone for 10 hours a day. And so knowing that your community is there having your back and being able to pop in and talk with people throughout the day, I think has been, again, helpful in keeping me feeling human during COVID. And then also helping me hone my professional and clinical skills. It's been great.
Well, let's check in with our Health Coach Tip Tuesday community. So we've got Aziza joining us from South Africa. Ginny is joining us from Washington. Heather says she wins in Phoenix with 110 degrees. Heather, you win. You keep that 110 degree weather. We've got Angie from Virginia, Melanie in San Diego. So we've got a great community right here, people from all over the world, which is another awesome thing about our FDN community, is that we have practitioners from all over the world that can chime in.
Totally. Hi, everybody, and welcome. I wonder what time it is in South Africa right now.
Yeah, let us know, Dr. Nambasi, what time it is in South Africa right now. I think it's really late evening there. Like she and I have talked before, and it's pretty late there. So
Okay.
let's talk a little bit about, a good topic for being part of a community is pushing our limits. And how do you feel that being part of that health coaching community pushes your limits?
Yeah. I think if it's just me doing something, there is not really any accountability. And when things get hard, I have the option of just giving up. I can say, well, that didn't work out, so I'm not going to pursue it any further. But in FDN community particularly, we're all working toward the same goal, the same objective. I know in the Facebook group sometimes we have like friendly competitions, and you can't really get that in other places. And so being able to push myself a little bit further by means of my community has been helpful for me, because if you're not pushing your limits, you're pretty much not growing, and it's a helpful tool for growth, I think.
I think so too, and you get the motivation and support. But you're right, you get that friendly competition as well. We did the sleep challenge. We all participated in the sleep challenge. And it wasn't really against each other, but it was a really good way to stay motivated and have that community motivation.
Totally.
And if I hadn't had that, would I have done it on my own? Maybe not as successfully.
Totally true. Yeah, so that is really helpful, because I know that for me, I'll set a goal for myself and I'll set a limit for myself. But again, there's no one there enforcing that has to be done. And so other people asking me about it, or us having a conversation about what we're doing in our own businesses, or even our personal life, really, as it pertains to our business, can be really helpful and motivating.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and how do you feel as far as community about, how the community gives you support and offers you some belief?
Yeah. I think like I said, could totally talk for days about that. Support is huge. And, I know right now we're all going through COVID together. And so feeling like you have a support system in place when other things kind of feel out of your control has been really helpful for me personally, because some days, I just want to lay in bed. I won't, but I really want to. And my big goals just seem like they're unattainable. I feel like, well, what's the point? My kids aren't going to school. I'm not going back to my office. Like, it's okay if I take another day off, right? But on those days, like days I want to give up, I know that my community is there and other people are pushing through things. Other people are taking new courses and they're learning more about the microbiome, and they're building their practice in this way, or starting this new group coaching program. And so it's really easy for me to be able to tap into that and know that support system is there. And I don't even have to ask. When you've got a good community that's really robust and is always in contact with each other, it automatically kind of just flows out from what's happening with an incredible group of people. And I'm sure a lot of people say this about their own communities, but we totally have that at FDN. I freaking love it.
Yeah, I agree. I think that the FDN community is, and I've been part of a lot of communities. I've been part of moms groups. I was in a sorority in college. I've been part of, educational groups. I've been part of homeschooling groups. I've been part of tons and tons of groups, but I will tell you that I really feel like when I'm with my FDN community, I feel like I have found my people. Like it's one of the brightest and tightest groups. I mean, everybody is always willing to reach out and help and answer questions. And so, I think that the FDN community is super supportive of each other, no matter what it is you're doing and working on.
I totally agree with that. And things tend to happen fast in our community. If you put out a question or a concern, somebody is going to get back to you almost immediately. And more often than not, it's like 2, 3, 4, 5 people. And so that support, I think, also is like an ongoing conversation. And even if you're just, there's just you have access to so much information with a robust and active community. And I think that's been really helpful for me as well.
Yeah, I agree. So Dr. Nambasi says it's after 9 in South Africa right now.
Nice. So, thank you.
It's late.
That is late.
I know. I'm like, that's bedtime. What are you doing?
I know.
So for those of you that are just joining us, drop the word coach in below the video, and we are going to send you the link for the Health Coaching Certification Summit that is going on right now. So you can get on, register, and really kind of look at all of the different opportunities that are out there for health coaching. You can really find your people. There's tons of great things that you can learn from that right now. So make sure to drop the word coach so that you can join that health coaching certification summit right now. Let's talk a little bit about new ideas and innovation. So there's a term in medicine called translational medicine, where studies may happen now, but in the course of learning and education, it may take up to 30 years for that information to be translated into healthcare. And so that's a really long time. So I want to talk about, especially with the FDN community, about new ideas and innovation. Do you think that our community is really up to date on all of those things?
What a cool idea. Number one, I have not been exposed to that before, which is why I love this community, that you're bringing me something I've never heard of before. But yeah, I think community and innovation is huge. When you think of like a really robust community, you've got people from, age spectrums and race spectrums and, male, female spectrums. Like we have so many different people in our community, and every single one of those people, you've had hundreds of people on the Real Results show, right? They're all pursuing something similar, but still very like niched in their own practice. And so everyone's passion is somewhat different, even though those underlying currents are the same. And so when you've got that kind of underlying like kind of gurgling, right, that's always happening with people who are entrepreneurs. So we're all kind of like thinking, what's the next best thing? Where can we go with our business? You've got so much innovation under the surface at all times. And I see that a lot just as the executive director of AFDNP. I'm always getting people's ideas. I'm always getting people's, questions about, well, what are we doing now? Where are we going next? Does this fit into the grand scheme of things? And it's blown my mind what people think about and the ideas that they have. And I think, nutrition in itself is a newer science. Functional nutrition is much newer than that. And so we're kind of, our profession is again, like it's almost a neophyte, right? Like it's something very, very new. So there's going to be a lot of innovation in, what's coming. And so to be at the forefront of that in this group has been really, really exciting. And we just have cool speakers that come in, different products, different services, different entrepreneurs that we're exposed to. And that has been, again, just like galvanizing personally and professionally.
Well, let's talk a little bit more about that. So you are the director of the Association of Functional Diagnostic Nutrition Practitioners. So as the AFDNP director, what kind of things are you offering to the community, like continuing education and speakers and?
Totally. Yes, and yes, all of it. So one of our, the flagship things that we've always done at AFDNP, even before I was here, is we've got a different webinar every single week, an hour long, of somebody that we've vetted who is a professional, in their line, whatever they're doing. So, we just had JJ Virgin come on and speak to our community on mindset. So cool. We have Dr. Carrie Jones of the Dutch Test come on regularly. Dr. Sachin Patel comes on and speaks to us. We've got these great names in the industry who take the time to, push in and give out to our community. So those webinars are definitely a backbone of what we do. We also have a detective hour twice a month where we go deep into case studies so you can hone your clinical skills on that aspect. But aside from that, my objective in coming into AFDNP is to really help build up the business side of what we do. And so, we're working with Jenn and her cool PVE business school to kind of integrate business teachings and what we do on the clinical side when you come out of the FDN program, which is super robust. And then people are like, well, now I can't wait to go start my business. How do I do that? And so we're providing, trainings on building businesses. We're bringing in speakers that help you build your, like professionals, in experts in their lane. We just partnered with GMA and AANWC. So now our graduates can get licensed or certified, insured, so that they've got that extra layer of protection. This last week, we just cemented a relationship with the Holistic Health Educators Council. So now we're on this council where we've got access to, legal expertise for people who are trying to build a business in all 50 states and even beyond internationally. So there's so much going on, ways that we want to care for, our students and our graduates to help you feel super confident, not only in your clinical skills, but also in your business and professional skills. So again, I could talk for days, but those are the highlights.
Well, and I think that's great. So when we're talking about new ideas and innovation, it's not just about the clinical side. It's not just about like the testing, but the fact that you have all of these FDNs who are really staying on top of everything clinical and business, but that you're also bringing in these outside experts to really help the FDNs to grow their knowledge with the new ideas, the products, the business, all of those things. And then you can start, a simple conversation or a relationship with somebody just from the things that we are posting on Facebook.
Totally. Yes, because people are hungry for knowledge, right? Even to like seek knowledge for a living, in a profession. The more we know, the more we realize we don't know. You know what I mean? Do you feel that way?
Oh yeah. And that's one of my favorite sayings is like, the more the more you know, the more you realize you don't know because you've gained all this knowledge, but there's always the other side of the coin. There's always something else to be discovered. I was just witnessing a conversation in one of the FDN groups, and they were talking about iodine and thyroid, and to see the different, opinions and thoughts about should you, shouldn't you, read this book, read that book. So it was really very fascinating to just see this interaction in the community.
Absolutely. And yeah, that's right. Like everyone's got their different passion, and I want to learn everyone's passion. It definitely helps me. I want you to tell me what some of those books are, by the way.
Okay. So, one of the things that we are really doing as far as community, we talked about a little bit about the Real Results show that happens on Wednesdays, is that, I am seeking out those people in our community that are experts. So people that are experts, I'm looking for thyroid experts and oxalates experts and gut health experts and blood sugar experts, people who can really get on and speak about their knowledge and expertise in these different areas, because not only are they sharing their info, but it helps me to grow, it helps you to grow, it helps all of the health coaches who are watching the Real Results show or Health Coach Tip Tuesday to grow. So it's a really, even here, it's a great outlet.
Yeah, absolutely. What and your specialty, your specialty is working with families on the autism spectrum, right?
Yeah. So I work with families whose kids are on the spectrum. Also, anxiety is part of that. But yeah, so that is really my specialty. And you work with women, right?
Yep, women who've got hormone dysfunction and autoimmune disease. So yeah, just getting to meet more people and realize that there are even different niches that are open to work with. In health coaching, I think that everyone who enters health coaching just has this singular objective to help people get and stay healthy. And then you realize there's so many layers to that and so many things you can unpack and uncover. And when you really dive down deep and get to be, an expert in what you are dealing with, I feel like worlds open up,
Yeah.
Personally and professionally, really. You get better at your business, and then, you just become so vast and deep in your knowledge that you feel like you can, someday maybe attain that expert status, right?
Right. Exactly. Well, let's talk a little bit about accountability, and how do you feel that being part of a community keeps you accountable?
Totally. I think we all want to think that we're an island unto ourselves. And I think that, if you're in this space and you are either a health coach or you want to be a health coach, probably you're super driven, you're probably type A, you probably have some perfectionistic tendencies, and you probably are an entrepreneur and you're ready to like get stuff done, right? That's what I tend to see, on my side. That's not necessarily everyone. However, those people are usually pretty responsible. They're invested in their personal growth and their business growth. But with that comes all of the beauty that you miss out on being part of a community that keeps you accountable, that asks you, like, how's your program going? How did that group coaching session go? What happened with that woman who, was presenting with high TPO antibodies? Did the clinical mentorship session, recommendations help her, right? Is she feeling more balanced? And that's huge. I want people speaking into my life and asking me, and then I want to be able to have that opportunity and privilege with other people in my community. And I feel like my position affords me, the ability to be able to do that, which I love, but I also want it for myself. And, once you've lost that island status, I think that a lot of growth can occur.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. I've never really thought about it from that perspective of like an island, but Yes, I agree with that. And yes, I think that it's really easy to be that island unto yourself when you work from home, when you're working virtually. And so, that is one of the really cool things about being part of the community.
Totally.
One of my favorite things about community is just the collective wisdom. So, like we were saying, nobody ever has all the answers, no matter how much you Google. And I've done a lot of Googling. It's can always be important to really consult with an expert. And I feel like, especially when you're Googling, there's so much information on the internet, it can really be overwhelming and really hard to decide what's right, what's wrong, what's a good fit for me. And that's one of the reasons that I think that, people should really check out the Health Coaching Certification Summit, because this is going to be a good place where we're going to lay out all of the different opportunities that are out there, all the different communities that you can be a part of, and you can really determine what is going to be the best fit for you and how can that collective wisdom benefit you.
I think you are so right, Piper. And just getting a little bit of the behind the scenes for this summit, the speakers that Reed's brought in are just, they're amazing. You really can explore any avenue of health coaching certification that you want. Like maybe you want to specialize in skin and aesthetics. Like there's that certification out there. Maybe you really want to focus on the lab testing. There's that certification out there. So whatever is, personal to you, you are able to go out and get certified so that you can help people do, again, bring balance to other people's lives the way that you've maybe afforded that balance to your own life, just working on yourself. And I think a lot of people are sort of hungry for that, especially in, the climate that's happening right now. People just want to be healthier. They want to know how to protect themselves. And bringing, this whole health certification summit to everyone is a great kind of concentrated area to show that there are so many ways to be able to do that. So I know there's a few talks that I really can't wait to hear. And you probably feel the same way.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I work for FDN. I work with my own clients. I have 2 teenagers and a husband and 2 dogs, and I have all these things going on. And I'm how many of these summits can I get on, and how much of this can I watch? Because there's so much information. And then, it's really, they're really for somebody who's looking at becoming a health coach, or somebody who is already a health coach but wants to become a next level health coach. The summit is really going to be an awesome place to start.
Totally. Yep. And it starts on August. When does it start? The 13th?
It starts the 8th and it goes through the 13th. So it's already started, but you can register. And I know that there's an option to get the recordings. So you can watch it for free, but you can get the recordings. And I'm not sure how much the recordings are, but it's a great way to save it and until later, which is what I have to do.
Yeah. Yeah. On your weekend walks. Yes.
Yeah. Hi, Brandy. Thank you for joining us and checking it out today. I had Brandy on the Real Results show last week, so I'm glad she got to hop on and say hello today.
I saw you, Brandy, in the interview.
What?
I said I saw you.
Brandy.
Yep.
So do you have any final thoughts or takeaways you want to add about community?
Absolutely. Yeah, you guys, find your people. Find the community that really appeals to you and dig in. It can be really tempting to want to stay in isolation, but whatever is, your passion, you can make your hobby and your leisure your profession as well, which is really cool. And just know that, there's a community out there that can support you. So we would love to be that community for you, but know that if FDN is not that place for you, that there are lots of other places that, can't wait to have you. So dig in, push in, and know that you're not alone.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. Thank you, Jennifer, for coming on and talking about community. It was fantastic. And make sure to join us tomorrow for the Real Results show. And then we will be back here next week. Reed will be joining me next week for Health Coach Tip Tuesday. So make sure to join us for that. And if you're just watching the replay, drop the word coach below this video and we are going to send you that link. And thank you, everybody, again for joining us. Thank you, Jennifer. We will see you all on the internet. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.